Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Shayna if you are new here, but if you are not, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we're going to be doing a little fun tag that I've been wanting to do for a while now. I was going to do this with my boyfriend, but I thought I would try to do this on my own first and see if I can answer as many questions as possible. So today we're going to go through a bunch of questions. I believe I have 10 questions altogether, and we're going to be answering things that guys are too afraid to ask girls. I don't know. If you did like today's video, please give this video a big thumbs up and make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. And make sure you guys also hit that notification bell to stay notified when I upload every Wednesday and Saturdays, sometimes Sunday. So let's begin. So number one is, are periods that bad? Yes, periods are that bad. I'm sorry if you're a guy watching this and you don't want to hear about this, but you can log off. So for the people that don't mind me talking about periods and stuff like that, they definitely are as bad as we say they are. When we have a lot of pain and we really are complaining, like we're having really bad cramps and stuff like that, we are genuinely in a lot of pain. I actually recently found out that there is a science behind like cramps and stuff like that, and it correlating to pregnancy and having a baby and stuff like that to a certain extent. And I was watching someone and she actually said that when you have a cramp, one cramp is equal to one contraction. So just to hear that in itself just shows me how strong I am as a woman and how strong other women are, because I know there's a lot of women out there who have endometriosis and maybe ovarian cysts and stuff like that, things that are a lot more painful than your average cramps that you would get if you just get a regular cycle. So I commend you guys so much, and myself as well, because women are so strong, and cramps really are, and our periods really are that painful. We're not making it up if we really need to sleep, or some of us have to throw up, or have really bad severe cramps, and sometimes you even have to be hospitalized for them if you have like endometriosis and stuff like that. I've had friends who in high school had it really bad, and there was someone I knew, she wasn't able to even go to school for a week or two, and she would just disappear every time of that month. And I would always ask her, like, where'd you go? And then she finally told me one day that she actually had endometriosis, but she didn't know at the time. It wasn't diagnosed, and she found out later on that's what was causing her to throw up, and she was actually losing a lot more blood than she was supposed to be losing and stuff like that. So she was actually hospitalized multiple times in the emergency room because of how bad her endometriosis is. So when we say we have really bad cramps and we need chocolate, we need our heating pad, and we just need your comfort and love, we really do mean our period is bad. Question number two is, why do you take so long to put on makeup? And the simple answer to that is that we want our makeup to look a certain way. Every girl has a look that they're going for, especially if you're trying to go for a smoky eye or you're trying to perfect your lip liner. That's something you really don't want to rush on. And sometimes people are just procrastinators. Like, you start to sing maybe a song while you're doing your makeup. Music always distracts me while doing my makeup, so I definitely find that's why it takes me a lot longer. If I'm in a rush to go somewhere, I end up being late, or I have not as much time as I would like to have because of me listening to music, or having to do my hair first, then my makeup, or just like you get distracted by a text or something like that. So really it's like a mixture of us getting distracted for most of us women, and also for us just wanting our makeup to come out a certain way, and we want our pictures to look good as well. So I think that's why for me personally it takes maybe as long as 2 hours to do my makeup, if not more sometimes, because we really do want our makeup to look good. And at the end of the day, it's like therapeutic for me, and it's kind of like a craft. So I really take pride in my craft. Number three is a little spicy. So the question is, does size really matter? To answer number three's question, I think that it does matter, and it's not about just the motion in the ocean, because each woman is different and each woman takes time to hit a climax for the most part. So I feel like it does matter, and you should never just like settle for anything in the bedroom, because if you're really not like enjoying it or feeling good, like your partner should take note of that, and you should as well, to let them know and verbalize, to be like, hey, like I'm really not enjoying this, I'm not getting anything out of this, literally. And you should let them know that you are not feeling as great as they're feeling, because sometimes guys think they're doing something in the bedroom and really they're not, and you may not be feeling any of that, because everybody's G-spot is different. Like, size does matter for me personally. It may not be for every woman, but for me, that's what matters. Number four is, can we split the bill? So I think that there's nothing wrong in splitting the bill if you guys have been together for a long time, or it's someone's birthday, or it's an anniversary, or it's like someone got a promotion or something special like that. I feel like there's nothing wrong with wanting to split the bill. But I think like if I'm just meeting you, it's a little weird if you ask, hey, can we split the bill? Because I like to be wined and dined, and especially on first couple of dates, I really want to get to know you and stuff like that, especially if you were the one that was hounding me down for dates and stuff like that, or really wanting to hang out with me, and it wasn't necessarily a mutual agreement between the two of us. I believe that you should pay the food, you should pay for the bill, stuff like that. I don't believe in splitting the bill until we've known each other for a certain amount of time, because some guys try to do that to weasel their way out of paying the bill completely, or they're too cheap to want to pay for the bill, and I just don't find that attractive. I think that's really unattractive in anyone, for me personally. So if you're trying to split the bill with someone and you just met them, don't split the bill, girl. Wait till you meet somebody who is actually willing to pay your bill, especially the first, second, or third date, because they're getting to know you, and I feel like they should court you appropriately. Number 5 is, do you always expect us to make the first move? I don't think that guys always expect us to make the first move, but sometimes guys have this idea in their head, so they think like they might have to, just based off of their personal experiences. But for me personally, I don't expect a guy to make a first move. I'm a person who, even when I was like in high school, college, I always went first for a lot of times. And if I like somebody and I saw them in person, whatever, or at a party, whatever it may be, or at school in my classes or something like that, if I like you, or if I think you're attractive or something like that, I'm gonna go after what I want. So I'm not gonna be hesitant to be like, oh, let me be shy and timid and act like, give this little cute persona that is not really my personality. I like to show my confidence off. And so for me, I always was like, I would go to the guy and let them know how I felt. Like nothing crazy or above and beyond, but I'd just be like, hi, my name is Shayna, and introduce myself and stuff like that, and make the first approach to talking to them. I think that that really shows a good sign of confidence. And sometimes guys are not going to want to come up to you because they're scared of you. Like, you're intimidating sometimes. Even if you don't think that you don't look intimidating, you can look intimidating to other people. Personally, for me, I have RBF, so if you know, you know. So my face looks serious 95% of the time if I'm out in public. I don't always look all smiley and happy until you get to know me, or if you know me personally, then I'm more outgoing. So sometimes they're just intimidated and need that little leeway to say hi back to you. And sometimes you coming up to them and introducing yourself first and making the first move really makes them actually more comfortable than you would think. Number 6 is a funny one, and it is it really that hard to decide where to eat? And I think that this answer could go either way, because it depends on if you're a picky eater. It depends on, some girls just like to eat everything and they're not picky about anything. Some girls have dietary restrictions like lactose intolerance. You want to be gluten free. There's different allergies now. So I feel like it really just depends on your allergies, your preference, your budget. It depends on a lot more things than just deciding where to eat, because also it's like sometimes on Uber Eats or DoorDash, they don't have the restaurant you're looking for. So sometimes you have to drive to get there and physically sit there, not unless it's like fast food. Not everything is fast food. So I think it just depends, and it comes down to that really. I think that when I'm really hungry and I'm grumpy, I don't really care where I eat. I do care like if it's healthy or not most of the time, but there's other times where I'm just like, I'm getting fries and nuggets and I don't care if we go to Chick-fil-A or McDonald's right now, because if I'm hungry, I have to eat, and I feel like I'm gonna pass out, so I feel like severely sick at that point. So I think that some girls are just really picky and indecisive, and that's what it comes down to. Personally, for me, I can be like that sometimes, but I really try not to be, especially for my boyfriend's sake and myself as well. I try to keep things as simple as possible, especially if I'm extremely hungry. Number 7 is, why do we always go for bad boys? I think that not everyone goes for bad boys, but majority of women do, and I also feel like it's a maturity thing and it's a age thing, because when you're younger, you think that, oh, bad boys are so attractive because you see it in the movies and they're so glamorized, but in reality, that can lead you to some bad decisions. It can lead you to potentially being in jail for some people. But that's like obviously really like the craziest extent of things. If you really do hang with the wrong crowds, you can dabble into drugs and stuff like that. So I feel like you just have to have mindfulness and be aware of your surroundings when you're talking to certain guys, and see who they hang out with and stuff like that, because it will show you if they're really like a bad boy or if they're like a good guy, because sometimes people can have this persona that they're a bad guy. In reality, they're not. It's just like how they want to perceive themselves to their friends, especially if you're like in high school and college. You know, you have this image to upkeep, essentially, especially if you're like in the popular group and stuff like that, or you're a jock or whatever the case may be. It makes them more attractive to a lot of other girls, because some girls at that age really don't care about getting in trouble. They just do what they want, and that's personally just how I've always seen it, movies or not. I personally also don't really go for bad boys, and my boyfriend definitely wasn't like a bad boy. I definitely was attracted to him because of how smart he was. He really opened my mind to a lot of things, and I'm a person who is more mentally attracted to people than just physicality, especially as I got older, because I met him in my early 20s. Now that I'm 25 and we've been together going on 3 years in August, I've definitely even got even more mature since then. But I was already pretty mature when I met him at that age, so I think it just depends on the girl, because not every girl wants a bad boy. I love that my man is a good guy, and he really does have an amazing heart, but he doesn't let anybody like step over him. Like, he has a tough side as well if he really needs to put his foot down. So it really comes down to what your personal preference is and what you're willing to risk with your life. Number 8 is, why are women self-conscious around other women? I personally think that it depends on if you are a confident, or you're more of an insecure girl, or you're more shy and timid, because sometimes you being shy and timid can come off as you not being confident or being self-conscious, when in reality maybe you're just like socially awkward, which is a lot of people. I know for myself personally, I can be a little self-conscious at times and stuff like that, but it's not because I'm like a hater or I'm not confident. It's just that sometimes you are in a space or in an environment where you're not used to being, and maybe you're around older people, or maybe you're underdressed or something like that, and you didn't know the dress code specifically. That for me makes me feel uncomfortable, or more self aware of like, oh crap, like I'm not wearing what I was supposed to wear, and it may come off like more insecure, because of course I want to be able to look my best and feel my best. If I don't feel my best, I'm definitely going to be a little bit insecure about my surroundings and how I'm feeling about myself even more. But for the most part, I'm a pretty confident woman, and I really try to be confident in the skin that I'm in, by instead of comparing myself to other people that may seem confident, in reality they're literally so jealous, or envy of you and how you look. Number 9 is, how do you stay out of the friend zone? I would say that there's no specific way to stay out of the friend zone specifically. I just think that if you like someone and they like you, that you need to let that be known. Don't just let it pass you by, because that person can end up being your soulmate, your twin flame, and you would never know unless you try it out. If you constantly feel like this person is just like likes you more than you like them, then you're gonna probably want to more likely than anything want to friend zone them, because you don't feel that connection with them. But the best thing to do is just to have honesty. And like they say, as much as this is so cheesy, honesty is the best policy, and I really do truly believe in that, and abiding by that, because I feel like it's no point in letting someone think that you like them when you really don't, because you hurt them more by lying to them or not telling them the truth and giving them mixed signals. Then they think that you like them, and then they see you with somebody that can really start a flame within somebody, and not in a good way. You don't know, sometimes people really have a crazy side to them, and they could end up turning out to be a severe stalker, or someone who really may not even go to that extent of stalking you, but they may be just really hurt, and you don't know if people have ill will intentions, unfortunately, in this day and age. So you just really need to be aware of your surroundings and how you approach people and how you respond to people. It's all about how you come off to someone and how you execute things. There's a way of saying things as well. Like, if you just don't like someone, you can nicely say it. You don't have to be rude about it. And I've learned that throughout the years, because when I've taken like bad approaches, I'm like, crap, like the outcome isn't always amazing, and I'm put in very weird situations. So I think it's always best to just be honest and let people know, like, hey, if I don't want to be more than friends with you, you need to let that know and let that person know. But if you do want to be more than friends with them, let them know as well, because I'm sure that would make their day, and you never know what it could blossom and turn into. So it could end up being something super positive. Our final and last question, number 10, is, do women prefer men with deeper voices? So I think that it comes down to preference. I'm not a person who likes deep voices, because I actually feel like I can't understand people who have like super deep voices. And I've experienced that before, and I'm like, I can't even understand what they're saying. So imagine someone speaking fast and their voice is like super, like really deep. Like that. Like, it's really gonna be hard for me to understand you. I think that It's also depending on your likes and dislikes. Some people like a really deep voice and they find that really sexy and attractive, whatever. Me personally, I don't. And I feel like with my boyfriend right now, I feel like he has a deep voice, especially when he wakes up and stuff like that, like how anyone sounds when they wake up. But for the most part, his voice is like, I feel like a perfect range of deep and not too deep. It's just right in the middle. And I love that. I don't like a super high voice as well. And it's not because I may think the person is gay or anything like that, because I'm not homophobic in any way, just to be clear. But I think that sometimes when it's too high pitched, it sounds a little too feminine for me. And I'm just like not a fan of that, because then I just don't feel like that's my protector, that's my man. Like I really would want that person or see that person with me to be my future, you know, lover, my boyfriend or husband, whatever it may be. So for me personally, I don't like super deep or super high. I like somewhere in between, but it just really comes down to preference, because each woman is different, like I said, and each person has their own request of things and what they like in a guy and what they wouldn't like. We're at the end of the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I tried to come out of my box today and do something really fun that I've seen for a while now, the last couple of years, and I really wanted to try this idea. Maybe in the future I will try this video with my boyfriend and see like what questions and answers we come up with together. So if you guys did like this video, please give this video a big thumbs up. As usual, it is always appreciated, and make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't. And make sure you guys also hit that notification bell to stay notified when I upload every Saturday. And make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you guys also hit that notification bell to stay notified when I upload every Wednesday and Saturday, sometimes Sundays. I love you guys so much, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I love you guys so much. Bye guys.